Hello Taurus, my name is Jason. This is your general tarot reading for April 2019. Sorry it's a couple of days late. It's Aries season. Makes everyone self-motivated, including me, which is not really characteristic of me. But thank you for joining me. This is a general reading. Could be about love, career, any questions at the forefront of your mind. You'll know in the first few minutes if this is resonating for you. If it is, or even if it isn't, please go ahead and check out my readings for your moon and rising signs. I quite often feel they resonate more strongly than the sun sign. But for now, you go in, oh, what a beautiful card. You go into the month of April with the Ace of Cups. So it's just like the universe has handed you this new beginning, this new emotional fulfillment. If you haven't got this at the moment, you'll be feeling it. Something's started off and you'll be feeling this quite strongly, that this is going somewhere and it's giving you a sense of abundance that you probably haven't had for a long, long time. Emotional abundance, that is. Perhaps a new love interest or a new project you've been working on, something which is making you feel sexy, it's feeling talented, wanted. A beautiful way to start, Taurus. Okay, what's crossing you? You have the World card, so it's just like a new chapter has opened up in your life. It's just about to start, okay? So the World card is card number 21 of the Major Arcana. After 21, we go back to 0, or we keep moving on to 0, and the Fool's journey begins again. So it's looking like a brand new chapter is started in your life right now as we speak, and it's feeling pretty good. You've just learned something about yourself. So perhaps you were feeling or thinking a certain way about the way you wanted your life to go, and then something's just come out of nowhere and changed everything. And what a great feeling. Okay, your conscious goal. Conscious goal, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Now the Seven of Pentacles is about waiting for the payoff from the work that you've done. It could be the work that you've done on yourself, or perhaps some project you've been working on. Perhaps you've done some kind of study or some kind of course, and now you're waiting for the accreditation or for the money to come in somehow. The payment for the work that you've done, and whatever form that payment takes. It could just be like the results of something, okay, and you're waiting for that. So you've done the work now, just like this person here. There might be a bit of doubt in your mind, though, if you've done everything. I'm just seeing the pentacle between this character's feet here. Maybe there's just one more pentacle to sweep up onto that bush somehow, or onto that pile to make sure everything's finished. But it looks like that there's a payoff coming for you somehow, okay, and you've been waiting for this. We'll clarify that later, I think. Okay, in your unknown influence, you have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords represents deception. Now, deception's not necessarily a bad thing. So perhaps someone's not telling you something for your own good, or they're omitting to tell you something. Or it could indeed be someone taking something of yours, perhaps. Now, because this is in the unknown influence, perhaps you don't know about this until it's too late, or you may not even know about it at all. But because it is influencing something about your life, you might just double check your passwords and any contracts you've got, investments from far away, things like that. Just make sure everything's ticking along fairly well for you, or at least everything is as it should be. That's what I would suggest there. Now, if it's not that, it may be that there's some responsibility that you're not really taking for your actions, or for a position somehow that you have. Okay, perhaps you've let something go too long, or you've procrastinated, and now it's time to catch up on something. That's what I'm feeling there for some of you. Okay, in your past position. Okay, the past is you have the Moon card. Now, the Moon card generally talks about can talk about a sense of evolution that you're having, a sense of growth that you're having of yourself. Okay, so you'll see the crustacean, the crab or the lobster, whatever it is, coming out of that deep dark water up onto the dry land, and it's trying to make a break for it. So because this is in the past, perhaps this is what's happened. Perhaps some truth has come out about something. The moon can be a card, again, of deception, but more like the unknown. Okay, so you've learned something about yourself, and now that this has happened, it's just like a new beginning. You've gone from the deep darkness to some kind of enlightenment, or if it's not light yet, you're on the way. Okay, you're doing this while those two beasts there are not watching. So perhaps you've had to do something in secret, or you're doing, however you're growing, not everyone's seeing this. It's more within you that this growth is happening. And it might have just been quite a very quick thing that's happened in your recent past. And there's a totally new way of looking at yourself now. You're realizing that you've just reached a new level somehow. Okay, which may explain this world card here. Beautiful. Okay. In your future influence, okay, your approaching influence, you have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords can be a person bringing you a message, can be a person who has the characteristics of going against the grain. This person doesn't do things the way the mainstream tradition might try to dictate. You have a look at this knight here. He's charging one way against the wind. See, the trees in the background are blowing one way, and he's charging the other way, full steam ahead by the looks of it. And if you have a look at his horse, I don't know if you can see the expression on the horse's eye there. This horse isn't really sure he should be going this way, but he is. And so perhaps there's someone in your surroundings, or someone who will come across your path who is a little bit like this, and they have a different way of doing things, going against the grain. But I'm feeling that they quite often bring messages also, okay? So they could be a lawyer or an accountant or someone in a position of authority or of expertise, perhaps, who may have some messages for you. So perhaps it's like a tax expert or someone who's going to need to wangle some things for you. I'm feeling it's not a bad energy. It's this person is, it's feeling like he's on your side somehow. So a straight talking person, like an accountant, lawyer, and they have some news for you. So that's what I'm getting there at the moment. In your talents, you have the Hanged Man. So what are you bringing to this situation? A new perspective. So it's looking at, when we get the Hanged Man, we're being asked to examine how we see things from a different angle, and new ideas will come to us. So you'll see this person hanging upside down, waiting, not uncomfortable. He seems to have a bit of time to spare to make his decision or to change his perspective or have a new idea. You'll see this person got that bright light bulb behind his head, so he's just hanging around waiting for an idea to come to him, okay, for a new perspective to come perhaps. And it's quite a comfortable position to be in, but you know that there are things about the way you're thinking which are changing. Okay. In your environment, the way you see your environment and your place in it, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card of going in for one more round. You've done it before, you can do it again. So maybe it's just like, let's say you're in a job that it's not the funnest job, but you've done it before, you can do it again, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This person here he's not looking very excited. He's got a couple of battle scars there. He's got that bandage around his head, for example, and he's not necessarily looking forward to this, but he knows he can do it, and his environment knows he can do it. So the people around you, know that you can be relied on to do this. This is so perhaps someone's going to be calling on your experience, I'm feeling. They might be calling on a certain set of skills that you have, which other people perhaps in the workplace don't have, or other people in your tribe might need to use somehow. They might come and ask you for a favour, or to write something for them, or perform a certain function that not many others can do, or that you can do more easily because of your experience. That's what I'm getting there. Maybe we'll have a look at that. Okay, in your hopes and fears, you have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups talks about having a whole bunch of choices. Can be a bit confusing though sometimes. If you have a look, there are all these opportunities in these cups, all different. Some are positive, some are negative. They have pros and cons, but the character is in the dark about which one to choose. So perhaps there might be more than a couple of people that you need to choose from, or a couple of jobs, or a couple of things that you need to choose from, or things that you need to consider. You need to consider the pros and cons of various aspects of a pathway that you've just recently taken. So yes, you're on a new pathway, Taurus, but there are some things you just want to double check, and it can also be a card of sort of self-doubt. The Seven of Cups, too much choice, or which way do you really want to go? But again, I'm feeling that you've got time to make this. You've got time to make this decision. You're not in a hurry. And so you're in a really good place to sort through whatever this new beginning is, to really make it work for you, or to see if it's for you or not, okay? In your outcome position, you have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is a card of communications, perhaps a lot of backwards and forwards communications, emails, texting, talking, and I'm feeling you're going to be able to stand your ground here. You may be feeling a bit pressured somehow. Someone might want you to do something a more traditional way, and you sort of want to go your own way and keep your independence about something. But there's just going to be it might not be pleasant, it won't be unpleasant communications for whatever this issue is, but something's going to come. People are going to start being a little pushier about something, and I'm feeling it's from a distance, okay? Now, we'll have a look at some of these. The Ace of Cups is looking really good in your opening position, so we'll clarify this with a different deck. Ace of Cups, the World card, so a new chapter just about starting for you. You know what this is. You don't need me to tell you what that is if this is resonating for you. But then you have the Seven of Pentacles. You're waiting for some kind of a payoff. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here for Taurus? And this one's fallen out. We'll take it. The Eight of Rods. The Eight of Wands again. So it's looking like, again, communications about a payoff. So is there some money going into your account, or a contract you're waiting for, something finally come to its fruition, and you're waiting for communication that the payoff is here, or the project is completed, or the baby is born, or something like that. I'll clarify that. I'll put another card on that. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? And why is the Eight of Rods here? Here we go. The King of Pentacles again. So the King of Pentacles talks about financial abundance. So in your environment, there is a person with these attributes, the King of Pentacles. So fairly well off, fairly successful because they know what they're doing. They're stable. They're there because they deserve to be there. They have a good bank of resources behind them. And it's looking like they are waiting for some kind of a payoff as well. I'm thinking this is someone in your environment here, perhaps a love interest, or perhaps a a business partner, and maybe you're waiting to see how things go with them. And you're waiting for word from them, some kind of a couple of things to fall into place for you, which are going to allow you to make a decision on whether to keep going down this track or not. You'll know if this is for you. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is interesting. So in the unknown influence, you have the Seven of Swords, and we talk that there could be someone sort of robbing you without you knowing it. It could be deception, just check your passwords, things like that. Or it could be you not taking responsibility for something you've been charged with. Let's have a look. Why is the Seven of Swords here in the unknown position? The unknown influence for Taurus. And we have the Chariot. Okay, so the Chariot is the card of Cancer. And it's quite a strong card of willpower, of moving forward. It's a major arcana. Now, if there is someone like this in your vicinity, it could well be a Cancer or someone who displays those characteristics. This person has willpower, success, victory, and they're moving forward. But because it's clarifying the Seven of Swords here, I'm feeling perhaps there's just something you still want to know about this person, or perhaps you're deceiving yourself about this person somehow. I'm not feeling it's a negative energy so much as just deceiving yourself. We'll just have another look at that. Why is the Chariot clarifying the Seven of Swords? Why is the Chariot here in the unknown position for Taurus? You have the Hanged Man again. Okay, so you haven't quite made up your mind. So yeah, perhaps there's a Cancer in your environment and you haven't quite made up your mind about them. And so you're just waiting for more information. It's just something about them you're not trusting, perhaps. Now, it could be a business partnership, or it could be like a move in your life somehow that you're just not sure about. It's feeling like you're just not sure, okay? And you're waiting. You're waiting for some more things to come out, waiting to see how you feel about things or the person or the situation. Now, the Knight of Swords. Why is the Knight of Swords here in the approaching influence? I hope this is making sense for you, Taurus. It's feeling a little bit disjointed, but if it's making sense, you'll know. Well, obviously, you'll know what's going on. The Knight of Swords, clarified by the Tower. Okay, so this message that you get from this Knight of Swords, it's going to bring about the Tower, or the end of something, the end of a way of thinking even. Perhaps you are seeing something that you've never seen before, by this person showing you a different way, or perhaps you've seen something or received a message from an accountant or a lawyer, or that's coming through strongly. It's going to bring about this Tower moment for you. And I'm feeling this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing because it's allowing a fresh start for you. When the Tower comes along, it's usually replaced by the things which happen after that. There's like a clean foundation and you can build again on something firmer. So that's what's happening there. It looks like this Knight of Swords is bringing you a message which is going to help something collapse. And I'm feeling that you probably want this to happen. The Tower card's so often a positive card, really is. It's just the initial shock of losing something or changing a stable situation. But the challenge which comes from it is so often worthwhile. Not easy, but worth it. Let's have a look at the Hanged Man. What's this Hanged Man here for in the current talents position for Taurus? Please clarify the Hanged Man for Taurus. You have the King of Cups, another card of Cancer. Okay, so perhaps you're thinking about the Cancer. So it's interesting we have this. Perhaps this Cancer is helping you change your perspective. So the King of Cups is a stable, emotional. They're an emotional person, but they have their emotions under control. Okay, it's so interesting that you have in this position the Hanged Man clarifying the King of Cups, which is so often a Cancer, and this one here you have the Hanged Man clarifying the Chariot, who is also a Cancer. So I'm feeling that there is a water sign, at least in your environment, or someone who has those characteristics, and you haven't made up your mind fully yet about how they are. So this could be a love reading. It could be a few things happening. So I'm feeling long distances. I'm feeling a new life, a beautiful new start, the end of something. And you hear about this from this person who goes against the grain, or maybe sometimes has a harsh message, or if the message isn't a bad message, it might be delivered in a very matter-of-fact way, without much emotion. It's looking pretty good. It's more about doubt. So there's definitely new start here for you, new beginning, a new realization about yourself, but there's still some doubt about things. And I'm feeling it's more about fear of letting go of the way things were for you. But it's because you've got the Ace of Cups right here. It's feeling like a pretty good reading, really. There's just a bit of doubt. Let's have a look. Why is the Nine of Wands here in your environment? Why is a Nine of Wands here? Nine of Wands talks about going through one more time. Talks about how you might be called upon by some peers, or by someone who needs your expertise, or someone who needs your skills that only really you can do. Why is a Nine of Wands here? You have the King of Swords. The King of Swords, again, you may need to make a decision. It could be a family decision, a decision about a family matter, and perhaps you're like the patriarch or the matriarch, and you're the only person who can really deal with this. Okay, and you're going to have to make some decisions one way or another. So if there's been something building, or something which has just been hanging around a little too long, it's time for you to use that sharp sword there to cut it once and for all. So a new beginning can begin. Yeah, it can come about. Because if the new beginning doesn't come about, then you've got this continuation, this one more battle. This guy come along and he'll just go, cut that thing out, no more battles. Okay, so it's pretty good. Really, I'm feeling quite positive about that. Now, so in your hopes and fears, you have the Seven of Cups. What's that about? Why is the Seven of Cups here for Taurus? Why is the Seven of Cups here for Taurus? Lots of choices. You may be a bit confused about things. Let's have a look. Okay, the Six of Swords. So I'm feeling that you've moved away, or you want to move away from a situation. Perhaps I'm just getting over the seas. So perhaps there's some long distance, a situation from a distance which has been going on too long. You've got some choices there, but you've decided now, or you're going to decide that you're going to move on from this, from this decision or from this confusion, and you're going to make a decision which is backed up by the King of Swords here. King of Swords makes decisions. The Knight of Swords talks about decisions which has been made. You know, so many swords here. You've got changing perspectives here, which is going to allow you to make decisions. You've got, lots of stuff happening here. The Tower, which is going to bring something down. You've got the World card, which is all about new starts, ending of chapters, brand new chapters coming in. So look, this is looking like some real changes coming for you, Taurus. You might have to just face up to some responsibilities that you may have been putting off for a while with this Seven of Swords, perhaps something to do, you haven't really made a decision about something, I'm feeling, but along came this Cancer and it's allowed you to just say, rightio, this is it, I'm going to use this sword to cut away this, so there's no more of this, just one more time. So looking pretty good. It's looking like some clarity coming for you. Now, the Eight of Wands, so that's communication. So you're going to be communicating to someone about some decision that you've made, that you've moved on, or that you've moved on somehow. Okay, let's have a look. Why is the Eight of Wands here? Why is the Eight of Wands here for Taurus, for April, in the outcome position? What's the Eight of Wands here? You have Strength card. Yes, okay, so the Strength card talks about being able to stay calm and compassionate. So if you are calm within yourself, and you will be, then you'll be able to deliver this message compassionately. And so that's what you really are being asked to do here, is whatever message you need to give people, do it with an inner strength here. But look at this person, this woman with a lion. She's not hurting the lion. She's controlling that lion there, or she's tamed it. The lion's sort of feeling good about things. She's got what she needs to do. She's got it under control, so the lion doesn't bite her. Okay, and so I'm thinking that whatever this communication is, you're going to have the right skills, the right level of compassion to communicate that somehow. And I'm feeling that you're coming from a position of strength. You've decided that you've reached this new stage in your evolution. You can't just keep hanging around in that old unresolved situation anymore. So look, it's a really positive reading as far as changing the way you see things so you can move on. Okay, and maybe there's been someone come into your life who has allowed you to do that and to see that the things just can't be kept on the back burner for so long. Anyway, that's what I've got for you, Taurus. Please, I hope that's resonated for you somehow. Please like and leave a comment and subscribe, of course, and hopefully I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Have a great April.